Hello there, crochet friends. Welcome to another themed video. This is going to be a fun one. So I have been on the lookout for some really great small or mini items, and I have been saving as many free mini items on Instagram as I can find that I think are interesting and new and just something that I would love to take to a market or maybe even put in the store where I keep my plushies. My name is Toscha. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I run a small business called Crochet by Toscha, and I love to do this type of video where I have some kind of a topic and I gather a bunch of patterns and I get to try them out and I tell you guys what yarn I used, how long it took me, and if I would make that pattern again. And if you see me make more than one, I probably loved it. I have all of these minis that I've been saving and I'm so excited. I know I'm not going to be able to make all of them with you, but what I'll do is break this up into 1, 2, or maybe even 3 different videos so that it's not too long, but you walk away with lots of great ideas. So let's go ahead and get into our first pattern. Our first pattern is a low-sew penguin, and it is mini low-sew, and the pattern is by M-I-K-O Naughty. So this is what I have chosen. So I have my penguin colors. This is all Naughty Ball yarn. I have black, gray, and a little bit of white. And then for the hat, we're gonna use this hot pink color with a green stem. See me looking up at the TV. I am watching Amazon Prime Video upstairs, downstairs. And if you like period shows or historical, you will love it. It's so good. So I've done the top of the cap of the penguin, and this is what it's looking like so far. I'm getting ready to start adding the little white pieces that make it transition into the face. This is how my mini penguin's looking so far. So cute. Not as many as I was expecting, but in the pattern she uses milk cotton yarn, which I don't even know what that is. And she also uses a 3.5mm hook, and I'm using a 4mm hook and Naughty Ball yarn. But super cute, nice, easy transitions. I'm getting ready to move into the bottom of the gray body. Check out my mini. He is really long, a lot longer than I was expecting. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff him. I think the yarn in the pattern really made a difference with how it turned out. But let's go ahead and not judge it yet because it's not stuffed. We wanna make sure we give it a chance to become a penguin before we decide if it's a mini that we like or not. I'm stuffing this guy, I'm gonna close him up, and then we're gonna start adding the details on the face. I have finished my little chubby penguin. I did make a change. Instead of crocheting 4 single crochets in a magic ring and then increasing 4 times, I went ahead and just surface crocheted 4 times, and then I just increased it. I wanna clarify something with this pattern for you guys if you decide to make it. So this is the strawberry hat, and in the last 3 rows, it asks you to fasten off and reattach with a slip knot, and then do 3 rows of 24. So it looks like you're just circling around. But in actual reality, you're supposed to, at the end of the 24 stitches, you're supposed to chain, turn your work, and go back the other way. Initially, I just went all the way down 3 rows all the way around, and then it said to chain 15 and then attach, but there was nothing to attach it to. And it just didn't look right. So then I realized after looking at the picture that there are these little flaps and that you are actually supposed to chain and turn your work. So now it makes a whole lot more sense. I'm all done with this little strawberry penguin. I want to show you guys the hat. I did have to make a few accommodations. I added an extra row on this part, and then I also added 2 extra stitches on the chain because it was right over his face. So now it kind of hangs down a little bit. I did stitch it along the bottom to make sure that it doesn't come off. And then when I made the little plant part on top, she has the plant part like kind of facing forward. Another way that you could do it is you could just put it directly in the middle like a strawberry. But I think it gives it a cute little touch to have it kind of like leaning forward. But I think that he's really cute. It took me over an hour to make this because I was just trying to figure it out. This is a really cute penguin to add to my minis bin. All right guys, on to pattern number 2. We are gonna transition to a really cute cow. This is by a maker called Squishy Moo-Moos. Make a white cow with brown spots, and I have pink for the muzzle, and then I have black for the details. So it's gonna be super cute. Let's get started. So far I've made the head, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. It is tiny. This is a mini. There's so many color changes. I have to say it turned out a little awkward. Like we have 2 little ears sticking out like this. I think these are supposed to be horns, but this one's really clear, this one's not, so I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm gonna go back and embroider over that horn, but I'll definitely be more careful when I make this again. This truly is a mini. Check out this little guy. He is so tiny and so squishy and so many color changes. Like, this is a color changing nightmare for something so tiny. I would have rather have used safety eyes, but I didn't have ones that were this small here. Let's try another color. This is one of the Chanel Basics specialty colors. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen, and then I'm gonna use brown. This is gonna turn out a little bit bigger, but I think it's gonna be a little bit better. I finished my second mini. He's so cute. I used this variegated yarn. I think it turned out a little bit better. It was still a little bit off. You can see the muzzle is slightly off, slightly to the right, so I just need to be careful of that if I make it again. But look at these little cuties. They are so adorable. Let's do a little size comparison. Yeah, these are minis. This is not. Just as cute, but this is kind of what I'm looking for, is something small like this where I can make a whole bunch of them. These could also be made into swings or keychains. You guys, I found a goldmine pattern. It is by Nooks_Hooks, and this is what I was talking about, a pattern where I would want to make a bunch of them in a bunch of different colors, and it's super easy, all one kind of yarn, no sewing, super easy, just the most precious pattern. You start with the trunk, and you work your way up, and then you complete the body, which is very fast, and then you go back and surface crochet the ears, which is super easy to do, and actually a really nice way that she has you do them. And then you just make this little chain for the tail at the very end before you finish it off. There are 4 bobble stitches for the feet, and it's just the cutest little elephant. So of course I made another one. I made a pink one. I made the pink one first, and I want you to notice the trunk. I think I added I think I may have added a row, but I don't think it matters because it's so cute. Also, this is a thicker yarn. This is Premier Parfait yarn, and I thought this was Premier Parfait yarn, but it came out a lot smaller, so it might be another brand of yarn. But I really like the way this turned out. This is a pattern I'm gonna wanna make a bunch of. So Nooks_Hooks, don't forget all the patterns that I'm talking about in this video are gonna be down below in the description, and it's a free pattern, so you gotta go out and try it. I also wanna apologize for my background. I am taking care of my daughter's dog, and my cat is running around driving the dog crazy, plus my son was here for the weekend, so everything is a big mess, and this is not my normal craft room. So if you are new here, this is not my normal background. This is just me in another place. But that doesn't mean I don't have time to crochet something cute. So I'm just gonna keep making these elephants, but it's time for another pattern. Our next mini pattern is by Jen's Crafty Creations, and it is the most precious rainbow. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the yarn because she has a tutorial on Instagram. She calls it a mini tutorial, and it actually is really useful. When she was playing it, I just did like a little screenshot of the different rows, and then I was able to not watch it over and over again, but go ahead and make the rainbow. But in the pattern, as you can see from the photo, she uses, looks like Premier Parfait yarn, and she even mentions the colors in the video. And I didn't have all those colors here, although I do plan in the future to make that one. But what I went ahead and did was I made this guy, and this is Bernat blanket yarn, and I just wanted to try it out. It's not really a mini, but definitely something that I loved making. So I made 2, and I used this really pretty light blue yarn. This is, I believe, Perfect Phasing yarn, and then this is also Perfect Phasing. This one right here, the green one, is a variegated green yarn. Oops, let me see if you can see it better on the back. And then the yellow, I didn't have Bernat yarn, so I double-stranded Naughty Ball yarn with a dark and a light yellow. And then the orange is actually a Bernat baby blanket yarn. The red is a Perfect Phasing yarn. No, the red is Mystical Red, and then the pink is just a blanket. So I was able to find yarns that were all very similar in weight and make this super adorable rainbow. Do you think it looks like a taco? It's supposed to look like a rainbow. But look how cute these are. This is gonna be a big hit and it's Pride Month in June in Maine, so I thought this would also be really great to take to the market. So go ahead and check out this pattern on Instagram. Adorable minis pattern is by Woolly Dot Amigurumis, and it is not going to disappoint at all. You guys, out of all of the patterns that I've made so far, I hit the one that's my favorite. The elephants, they were a close second because I just love this little elephant. By the way, let's do a comparison of the elephant and the rainbow. I found a Mochi, a mini Mochi pattern. Am I saying that right? Mochi? Okay, I'm so excited to show you. It kind of looks like an axolotl, but it's actually a Mochi pattern, and it's got a little flower on top of its head. I'm not sure which, so Mochi is ice cream, like little Japanese ice cream. I'm not sure which Mochi flavor this is, but I'm thinking since it has a flower on top, it's some kind of like jasmine or something like that. So I made this one. I used a 4.5mm hook, and this is all Naughty Ball yarn, and I finally found the pattern that works perfectly for Naughty Ball, and it's this one. And it's got this little adorable tail. The body is super fast and easy to make. The tail has to be crocheted separately, but it's crocheted in the round. She actually has you sew on these little fringes. Well, I did not do it that way. Because all it is 4 chains, and then slip stitch back down, go to the next one. So I went ahead and just surface crocheted, and it was super fast and easy. So I think this one is some kind of a flower mochi. And then I also made the blueberry mochi. I'm gonna be embarrassed if I'm saying that wrong. This one has a little green stem on its head. I used light blue and medium blue. I really considered adding a little mouth, and I still might go back, but I think the focus is supposed to be on like the flavor of the mochi. For this one, I did use Premier Parfait for the little fringe because I didn't have a dark blue that I liked in Naughty Ball. And then the last one that I made, which I think is my favorite, is this one. And I want to say that this is Key Lime. And it is a yellow with peach details. And this peach actually is Premier Parfait. And then there's this little green flower on top. Like, they are so cute, you guys. And you can tell it was a fast, easy pattern by the fact that I made 3. Let's see if I can balance them. There. Aren't they so cute? Okay, in the pattern, there's also an Oreo, or cookies and cream flavor, which is gonna be cream with black details and a little Oreo on top. And then I also haven't made the grape. So I wanna make those 2, and I'm taking them to the market this Saturday. Here are the minis so far that I've made. What a cute little basket of adorable little plushies I'm gonna take to the market on Saturday. I found this really cute chicken pattern by the Cozy Bird Club on Instagram, a free pattern. So I thought, why not try out a new chicken pattern? And it's really cute and small, and I have some yarn here that I think would work. So I have this speckled yarn, which is Bernat, and I always enjoy making chickens out of this. And then I also have just plain white blanket yarn. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna try to make 2 different ones. And then I have this sparkle Bernat yarn that I'm gonna use for the comb. And all the details, she crochets them separately and sews on. I'm not gonna do any of that because I don't wanna do that for a mini. So instead, I'm just gonna try to surface crochet the comb, the beak, and the tail. So wish me luck. I'll check in with you guys in a bit. I'm so pleased with how this turned out, you guys. I thought it was just gonna be a regular, boring chicken pattern, and it's not. It's so cute. Look at this little guy, and what I love about it is it's so fast. I was able to make this guy in about 15 minutes at the most. I made the body. These are just popcorn stitches or puff stitches. I think they're puff stitches. And then this I surface crocheted, even though she has you make it separately. I went ahead and surface crocheted it. I went ahead and made the beak separately because it's a slip stitch in a magic circle, and then it just I think it just was gonna look a lot better if I did it this way. And then the back is my favorite part. So this is a magic circle, and then you do another color. You could do red or yellow, but I just did red. But I think it's really cute. They're like tail feathers. So here's the second one that I made. And this one is using the speckled yarn, and I think he's just so cute. This is a pattern I want to make a lot of. I noticed that my comb looks a little different on this one, but you know what? All chickens, I think it's supposed to look like this one. Chickens do not all look the same, you guys. It's okay. The next pattern that I have for you guys is one that's probably common, and you probably have one in your stash of patterns, but this one's free. It's from a reputable designer, all from Jade, and also it's the perfect size for a pickle jar. So I have a pickle jar coming this week. I hope it's gonna be in the mail today, but I wanted to put a bunch of these little pickles in the jar, and this is the pattern, and it's so simple and so easy. And what I also like about it is that after you've done your increases and you know the amount of rows, you can really put the little nodules wherever you want them to be, and that makes them each individual. And then just adding the embroidered eyes is just an added bonus and gives them a lot of character. My plan for these little pickles is to make a positive pickle jar, which I had at a previous market, and it was so popular that I was making pickles during the market because I could not make enough. So at the store where I sell my products, I have spoken to the owner, and she would like me to make one positive pickle jar for each store, and I'm really excited about it. And this is going to be the perfect size pickle for that jar. In a future video, I will show you that jar so that you guys can maybe get your hands on one. But this is your next pattern, which is a free, all from Jade, small pickle pattern. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and these 7 adorable free mini patterns. And this is going to be the perfect basket for me to take to my market, and I'm going to throw all my minis in here and offer them all for one price. I'm super excited, except for maybe this little guy. He needs to maybe be upped a little bit because he's, you know, a bigger plushie. But please stay tuned for this type of video coming up. I have so many adorable mini free patterns on Instagram that I have been saving, and I can't wait to share them with you. So this is going to be part 1, and I'm planning on having a whole series of free mini patterns for you guys. Thanks so much for watching till the very end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you appreciate my content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.